Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is a 2023 American superhero film based on the DC Comics character Aquaman. Directed by James Wan from a screenplay by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, it is the sequel to Aquaman, 2018, and the 15th and final film in the DC Extended Universe, DCEU. Jason Momoa stars as Arthur Curry/Aquaman, who must work with his half-brother ORM, Patrick Wilson, to prevent Black Manta, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, from killing his family and using the cursed Black Trident to overheat the world while searching for the lost Seventh Kingdom of the Seas. Amber Heard, Randall Park, Dolph Lundgren, Temuera Morrison, Martin Short, and Nicole Kidman also star in supporting roles. Momoa pitched a story for an Aquaman sequel during the first film's production. Wan did not want to rush a sequel after the first film's commercial success but agreed in January 2019 to oversee development. Johnson McGoldrick signed on to return as screenwriter a month later, and Wan was confirmed to be returning as director in August 2020. He said the film would expand on Aquaman's world building, have a more serious tone, and feature themes such as climate change. Contrarily, the final product is presented as a buddy comedy between Aquaman and ORM, and was inspired by the Silver Age of comic books with a retro science fiction vibe similar to the works of animator Ray Harryhausen and horror films of the 1960s, specifically Planet of the Vampires, 1965. Wan announced the sequel's title in June 2021, and principal photography began later that month and concluded in January 2022. Filming took place in the United Kingdom, Hawaii, Los Angeles, and New Jersey, with additional filming in New Zealand. Several reshoots took place between July 2022 and June 2023 to alter the storyline, while some actors' roles were reduced, including Hood's, whose involvement was the subject of controversy during production. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom premiered at a fan event at the Grove, Los Angeles on December 19, 2023, and was released in the United States on December 22. The film received negative reviews from critics and grossed $440 million worldwide against a production budget of $205 to $215 million. Plot: 4 years after becoming king of Atlantis, Arthur Curry has married Mara and has a son, Arthur Jr., while splitting his life between land and sea. Meanwhile, David Kane/Black Manta continues to seek revenge against Arthur for his father's death, working with marine biologist Stephen Shin to find Atlantean artifacts. When Shin accidentally discovers a cavern in Antarctica, Manta finds a black trident that possesses him, its creator promising to give him the power to destroy Arthur and Atlantis. 5 months later, Manta breaks into an orichalcum reserve on Atlantis to steal it and power his Atlantean machines, which are of ancient origin but of unknown design to modern Atlanteans. Caught midway, they are chased by Atlantean forces, with Mara injured in the ensuing battle. Arthur learns that this usage of orichalcum, which emits high quantities of greenhouse gases, has not only raised planetary temperatures and caused extreme weather and ocean acidification. It also nearly caused a planetary extinction in the past, when used by an ancient Atlantean kingdom. To learn where Manta is hiding, Arthur breaks his half-brother ORM out of prison. Together, they visit a pirate haven called the Sunken Citadel, where they meet Kingfish to learn of Manta's whereabouts. The information they obtain leads them to a volcanic island in the South Pacific, where they battle Manta's forces after navigating flora and fauna mutated by the orichalcum. There, when ORM touches the Black Trident, it shows him visions of its provenance. ORM learns the trident was created by Kordax, the brother of King Atlan and ruler of the Lost Kingdom of Necreus. He was imprisoned with blood magic following a failed attempt to usurp the throne. Realizing the blood of any of Atlan's descendants could release Kordax, the pair deduce Manta has kidnapped Arthur Jr. With Shin's help, the Atlanteans determine that Kordax's prison and the Lost Kingdom of Necreus are located in Antarctica. In Necreus, Arthur fights Manta and is almost killed before Mara arrives and saves him. Manta throws the Black Trident at her as she is taking her son to safety, but ORM catches it before it strikes her. The spirit of Kordax leaves Manta for ORM, who proceeds to fight Arthur and uses Arthur's blood to free Kordax. Arthur convinces his brother to give up his hatred for him, allowing him to destroy both Kordax and the Black Trident. With Kordax's magic vanishing, Necros starts to collapse. Manta refuses Arthur's help, allowing himself to fall into a fissure. The Atlanteans and Shin safely escape and determine that ORM has redeemed himself. Arthur and Mera plan to inform Atlantis that he died, on the condition that he remain hidden and vacate Atlantis to the surface world. Believing the unification of the underwater kingdoms and the surface world is necessary to prevent further damage to the oceans and planet, Arthur reveals Atlantis' existence through an announcement at the United Nations, declaring his intentions of making the kingdom a member state. Cast. Further information, list of DC Extended Universe cast members and characters of the DC Extended Universe. Jason Momoa at the 2018 San Diego Comic-Con. Patrick Wilson at the 2018 San Diego Comic-Con. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II speaking into a microphone at the 2018 San Diego Comic-Con. Nicole Kidman smiling at the 2018 San Diego Comic-Con. Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson star in the film, which is a buddy comedy focused on the bromance relationship between their characters Aquaman and ORM8, while Yahya Abdul-Mateen II and Nicole Kidman were given larger roles than in the first film, respectively as the main antagonist and Aquaman's advisor. 9-10. Jason Momoa as Arthur Curry/Aquaman. The half-Atlantean, half-human king of Atlantis who can swim at supersonic speeds and summon and command aquatic life 11 and is the father of Arthur Jr. with Mera. 12. Producer Peter Safran called Arthur the ultimate outsider, explaining he doesn't believe he's part of the surface world or Atlantis and he never felt he belonged in either world. 13. Director James Wan said the film was a true continuation of the character's story from the first film Aquaman, 2018, explaining that Arthur is forced to juggle his duties as the king of Atlantis with his role as a father while protecting both his family and kingdom. Safran said the heart of the story is that Arthur is a superhero who is both human and superhuman, involved in an epic battle with high stakes. 14. Wan felt that including Arthur Jr. in the film was a natural extension of the first film and contrasted Arthur's role as king with the juxtaposition of his domestic responsibilities as a father. 12. Patrick Wilson as ORM Marius. Arthur's Atlantean half-brother and the former king of Atlantis who is stripped of his title as the Ocean Master. He is imprisoned in the Sahara Desert by the deserter tribe for assassinating the Fisherman King, with a limited water supply to dampen his powers, causing him to bear a gaunt and scraggly appearance. ORM is freed from prison and recruited by Arthur to help find and defeat Black Manta. 14. 15. 16. Amber Heard as Mera. Arthur's wife and the mother of Arthur Jr., who can control water. She is the queen of Atlantis and the former princess of Zebel, as well as King Nereus' daughter. 17. 18. 19. The character is injured early in the film and recovers for much of its events, before joining Aquaman, ORM, and Atlanta in their journey to defeat Black Manta. Several of HUD scenes were cut during reshoots. 20. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II as David Kane/Black Manta. A ruthless pirate and high seas mercenary who uses an Atlantean armored suit and wields the powerful Black Trident, seeking to kill Arthur and his family as revenge for the death of his father. 21. 22. 23. Wan said Black Manta's love for his father and need to avenge his death take a darker turn in the film, with the character becoming more powerful. 14. The director had planned while working on the first film to have Black Manta, who he described as having been a glorified side character, return as the main antagonist in its sequel, opting to establish his conflictive relationship with Arthur to give him a bigger role in this film. 9. Black Manta seeks to obtain blood from a descendant of the Atlantean king Atlan to free the Black Trident's creator Kordax from his imprisonment in the lost kingdom of Necros, and commands an army of undead warriors from Necros using the Black Trident which possesses him. 24. 25. Wan said Black Manta's suit, which foregoes the all-black power suit from the first film for a design that was remade in all silver and more accurate to the comics version, as well as his ship and technology, were inspired by the aesthetic of the Silver Age Aquaman comics and Yvonne Reese's The New 52 comics. 2616. Randall Park as Dr. Stephen Shin, a marine biologist obsessed with finding Atlantis who works for Black Manta after rescuing him in the first film. 2719. Dolph Lundgren as Nereus, the king of Zeeble and Mara's father. 28. Lundgren had a larger role in the original version of the film, which he said was reduced during reshoots. 20. Temuera Morrison as Thomas Curry, Arthur's father who works as a lighthouse keeper at Amnesty Bay. 2924. Martin Short as the voice of Kingfish. A gigantic Piscean humanoid of indeterminate species and the confident ruler of the sunken citadel, an underwater pirate haven, whom Arthur and ORM visit to locate Black Manta. He has a smarmy and cocky voice, behaves like a classical Roman emperor with an extravagant lifestyle and lady servants, and is guarded by humanoid hammerhead shark bodyguards. 3031. Nicole Kidman as Atlanta, Arthur and ORM's mother and the former Queen of Atlantis. 32. Atlanta's role as Arthur's advisor on how the underwater world works was able to be expanded upon given the absence of Nuitis Foucault, who served in that role in the first film and is revealed to have been killed off-screen due to a plague indirectly caused by Black Manta's actions in this film and humanity's pollution from the land affecting the oceans. 103316. New additions to the cast are Vincent Regan as Atlan, the first king of Atlantis, replacing Graham McTavish from the first film. 27. Yanni Zhao as Stingray, a loyal member of Black Manta's crew. 2719. Indamor as Karshan. 27. An Atlantean and the leader of the High Council of the Seven Kingdoms who serves as a political barrier for Arthur by opposing his desire to reveal Atlantis to the human world. 1916. 34. And Pilu Aspike as Kordax, the undead king of the lost kingdom of Necros, the Black City, who was Atlan's brother and the creator of the cursed Black Trident, through which Kordax's evil spirit possesses Black Manta. 35-36-16. Karshan is not a humanoid shark character as depicted in the comics. 34. While this version of Kordax is a composite character of the original comics version and Orin, which was the name of Atlan's brother and Aquaman in some comic iterations. 35-16. Underwater creatures of the Seven Kingdoms returning from the first film are the Brine King, voiced by John Rhys Davis and physically portrayed on set by Andrew Crawford. 37-38. Storm, a giant seahorse and Arthur's steed. 39-8. And the Octopus TOPO, which stands for Tactical Observation and Pursuit Operative, 40, who is a tactical covert operative for Atlantis that aids Arthur in freeing ORM and on their quest, in addition to playing several instruments, such as the drums. 1841-42-16. Juan said TOPO, who was created through visual effects, was a real character in the film after briefly appearing in the first film, with an undisclosed actor occasionally standing in for TOPO with a stick puppet for Momoa to act against. 41. The director described the character and Arthur as having a fun, slightly antagonistic relationship, while Momoa said TOPO added a lot of comedy which complemented Arthur being very salty. 42. Various infants portray Arthur and Mara's son Arthur Jr., who has similar water-based abilities as his parents. 25-43. Saffron's wife Natalia makes a cameo appearance as a member of the High Council. 44. While Michael Beach appears uncredited as Black Manta's father Jesse Kane through archive footage from the first film. 44-45. Beach was approached to film some flashback scenes, but was unavailable due to scheduling issues. 45. Production, Development, Interest and Early Work. Director James Wan at the 2019 South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. James Wan returned as director from the first film after choosing not to rush a sequel. 46-47. During the production of Aquaman, 2018, star Jason Momoa developed a story pitch for a sequel that he gave to Warner Brothers Pictures Group chairman Toby Emmerich and producer Peter Safran. In October 2018, before the film's release, Momoa said he would be more involved in the development of a potential sequel and expected filming to begin in 2019. Director James Wan said several storylines could spin out from Aquaman, with that film introducing 7 underwater kingdoms that had yet to be fully explored. 11:48 Momoa and his producing partner Brian Mendoza wrote a 50-page treatment for the sequel, which Warner Brothers bought but did not entirely follow 13, and the actor was paid $15 million for his involvement. 49 Emmerich had enough confidence in box office projections for the film by early December to begin discussing a sequel. 50 By the end of January 2019, when Aquaman was set to become the highest-grossing film based on a single DC Comics character, Warner Brothers was in negotiations with Wan to oversee the development and writing of a sequel with the potential to return as director. Jeff Boucher of Deadline Hollywood noted that Wan had been very protective of sequels to his previous films Insidious, 2010, and The Conjuring, 2013, and was deeply invested in the world building of Aquaman. Wan had previously compared the world of Aquaman to other fictional worlds such as Middle-earth, the Star Wars galaxy, and the Wizarding World. 51. In early February 2019, Warner Brothers hired Noah Gardner and Aidan Fitzgerald to write the script for a horror-tinged Aquaman spin-off film titled The Trench, based on one of the kingdoms introduced in the first film. It was expected to have a smaller budget and not feature the main cast of Aquaman, with Wan and Safran producing. Boris Kidd of The Hollywood Reporter reported then that there had not yet been serious discussions about a direct sequel to Aquaman between the studio, Wan, and Momoa, due to them wanting to have a breather first. 52 But several days later he reported that active development on a sequel was getting underway, with the first film's co-writer, and frequent Wan collaborator, David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, signing on to write the screenplay. Wan and Safran were producing the sequel, however, it was still unclear if Wan would direct it. 53 At the end of February, Warner Brothers scheduled Aquaman 2 for release on December 16, 2022. 54 The next month, Safran explained that he and Wan did not want to rush a sequel, and Warner Brothers had been supportive of that, which is why the film's release was scheduled for 4 years after the first film. He added that they were approaching the Aquaman franchise similarly to the Conjuring universe, with spin-offs like The Trench exploring stories about the underwater kingdoms alongside the Mothership films featuring Aquaman. Safran said Wan knew the architecture, the armory, the military, the look, the feel, and the general vibe of each of the 7 kingdoms and wanted to explore them all in future projects. 47. In July 2019, Wan was set to direct the film Malignant, 2021, before beginning work on Aquaman 2. 55 Patrick Wilson said in November that he had discussed plans for the sequel with Wan and indicated that he would be reprising his role as Orm Maria/Ocean Master from the first film. 56 A month later, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II confirmed that he was returning as David Kane/Black Manta, and was looking to flesh out the character. 21 Johnson McGoldrick stated in March 2020 that the sequel would not be based on a specific comic book, but was taking inspiration from the Aquaman stories of the Silver Age of comic books that featured Black Manta as the villain. 57 Wan was confirmed to be directing the sequel at the virtual DC Fandom event in August. 46 When Wilson was also confirmed to return. 58 Wan said it would be more serious than the first film and feature themes that were more relevant to the real world. 46 Such as climate change. He said the creatives were not afraid to address this on a big scale through the film, noting that the Aquaman character is environmentally conscious in the comics and fights to keep the ocean clean. He also affirmed that the film would remain a fun action fantasy movie. 59 Momoa said a scene was featured in the film in which Aquaman addresses the United Nations on climate change, with the actor having previously done so at the UN's Ocean Conference. 61 added that the film would include more world building and exploration of the underwater kingdoms. 46 and would feature some horror elements similar to the trench sequence in the first film. 61 Being able to expand on the world building of the first film was one of the key reasons that Wan chose to direct the sequel, along with Johnson McGoldrick's script, which Wan felt had a really cool story to bring all these characters back, and then growing them in a big way. 62 Safran felt embracing the mythic nature of the Aquaman character and pairing that with the film's world building and visual storytelling made the film compelling. 14 He and Momoa both believed the film's humor exceeded that of the first film. 68 While Wan said Aquaman was at the center of the film with his charm and humor. 14. Amber Heard casting controversy. Further information: Amber Heard relationship with Johnny Depp. Amber Heard at the 2018 San Diego Comic-Con. Amber Heard's casting in the film was the subject of controversy and various reports regarding the extent of her role, in part due to her off-screen legal issues. Amber Heard debunked rumors in November 2020 that she would not be reprising her role as Mera from the first film following allegations of domestic abuse made against her by her ex-husband Johnny Depp. That month, a petition to have Heard fired from the franchise received more than 1.5 million signatures, and came after Warner Bros. Removed Depp from Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, 2022, when allegations made by the Sun that Depp abused Heard were ruled to be substantially true in the defamation lawsuit Depp v News Group Newspapers Ltd. filed against the Sun's owner. 1763 Safran said they never considered making the film without Heard and would not react to the pure fan pressure of the petition and other social media conversations. 64 However, Heard later stated, during a second defamation trial in Depp v. Heard that was brought against her by Depp over a column in the Washington Post, that they didn't want to include her in the film, and that she had to fight to keep her part. She claimed that revisions were made to the script that reduced her role to a very pared-down version, including removing action sequences for her character, and she was unable to renegotiate her option contract that stipulated she would earn $2 million for the sequel, which was double what she made for the first film. 65 66 67 By that point, in May 2022, the petition to have Heard removed from the film had received more than 4 million signatures. 65. DC Films president Walter Hamada testified during Depp and Heard's defamation trial that the studio considered recasting Mera, but only because of concerns about Heard's lack of chemistry with Momoa, not the abuse allegations. He added that it was the studio's philosophy to hold people to their options and not to renegotiate contracts, and said the size of Heard's role had not changed during the sequel's development. Hamada explained that the film was always intended to be a buddy comedy that focused on the relationship between Aquaman and ORM. 68-69 Safran compared this relationship to that of Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy's characters in the film 48 HRS. 1982, while Wan said the film was written as a bromance action-adventure story focused on that relationship with the two brothers overcoming their differences to save the world, compared to the first film which focused on Aquaman's relationship with Mera. 814. Tatiana Siegel at Variety reported that Heard had been nearly fired from the sequel after the first film's release due to the chemistry concerns, but these plans were abandoned after her ex-boyfriend Elon Musk intervened. Siegel also reported that the lack of chemistry narrative had been disputed, citing that Heard had performed a chemistry test with Momoa on the first film and had been cast over two other actresses, including Abby Lee. Heard described her experience with Momoa and Wan on the film's set as hostile, which was refuted by a DC spokesperson who called the production positive and collaborative. For Depp v. Heard's jury ultimately found that both Heard and Depp defamed each other, with Heard having defamed Depp on 3 counts and Depp having defamed her on 1 count. 70 social media responses to the trial heavily favored Depp over Heard, with several memes and videos mocking her testimony. In June 2022, reports emerged that Heard had been fired from the film following the trial. However, these claims were subsequently debunked. 71 Heard ultimately appeared for around 20 minutes in the film 72 with 2 of her scenes, a fight sequence with Black Manta and a love scene with Momoa reportedly cut during production. Several commentators noted upon the film's release that many of Heard's scenes had been removed and that the remaining scenes appeared to be clunky and awkward. 72 Actor Dolph Lundgren, who portrays Mera's father Nereus, later said that he and Heard had larger roles in the original cut and script before they were reduced during reshoots. 2073. Pre-production. In February 2021, Lundgren said he was reprising his role as Nereus in the sequel, with filming expected to begin later that year in London. 28 a month later, the planned start date for filming was revealed to be in June. However, there was potential for this to be impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. 74 Richard Sale was also revealed to be serving as the costume designer, after previously serving as an assistant costume designer on DC's Wonder Woman 1984, 2020. 7475 IWC Schaffhausen created red and blue glowing Super Luminova prop watches for the film, which were worn by Abdul Mateen II and Randall Park. 76 In April, Warner Bros. And DC announced that development on The Trench was no longer moving forward, with the studios not having room for the spin-off on their slate of films and believing Aquaman 2 to be enough of an expansion of the franchise for the time being. 77 One later revealed that The Trench had been the working title and a misdirect for a planned Black Manta film. 26 Later that month, Pilu Aspike entered talks to join the film's cast. 78 Momoa said in May that he would begin filming in July. 79 and Wan announced a month later that the sequel was titled Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. 80 While Temuera Morrison confirmed his return as Aquaman's father Thomas Curry. 29 Willem Dafoe was also reported to be reprising his role as Nuidus Foucault from the first film 81-82, but he ultimately did not appear, which Wan attributed to scheduling conflicts. The director felt that Foucault's absence allowed for Atlanta's role to be expanded as her son's advisor on how the underwater world works. 10. Filming. Picture of Warner Bros. Studios Leavesden signage in September 2023 on the studio's parking area. The Warner Bros. Studios Leavesden Film Studio served as the primary base of the film's production. Principal photography began on June 28, 2021 83 using 5 stages and the backlit at Warner Bros. Studios Leavesden in Watford, England, alongside an external water tank. 84 Filming used the working title Necros 74 referring to the lost underwater kingdom of Necros 74. 35 85 86 which is featured in the film. 35 Necros, also known as the Black City, debuted in Aquaman number 30, 1966, as an unstable underwater city rivaling Atlantis that cannot be in the same location twice and originated from an alien satellite. 87 74 85 86 Wan said it was fun designing the lost kingdom of Necros, detailing it as a society with various vehicles and weapons, such as the individually operated machines called the Octobots that move in and out of water which ORM encounters. The kingdom's retro-futuristic design was inspired by the art depictions in the Silver Age Aquaman comics from the 1950s and 60s, but with a modern spin. 814 Wan felt that Antarctica and its landscape were familiar, yet largely unvisited by much of the world, which allowed him to explore a heightened version of it in the Lost Kingdom. For the Lost Kingdom, the creatives incorporated ancient Atlantean technology more advanced than typical human technology into Black Manta's crew's uniforms and weapons, his colossal submarine, and the Octobots. 14. Many of the crew members returned from the first film 7514 including Don Burgess as the cinematographer and Bill Berdesky as production designer. 8875 with the latter serving alongside Sabi Mehala. 1. The special effects and visual effects crew invented new technology and VFX rigs for the underwater scenes in the film so it would be easier for the actors to shoot their scenes, with 100 cameras capturing the performances and action scenes, which was then applied to 3D versions of the actors. This new setup was devised after Wan found the rigging system used for the first film to be complex, and because its equipment caused physical pain for the actors. Wan believed the new setup was more versatile and safe. 8990 Wan said the creatives wanted the sequel to provide a more immersive and exciting experience for audiences while expanding the story and characters, and explained that the depiction of Atlantis in the film was expanded upon from the first film by providing the city depths, residential areas, and an area inspired by Times Square, while also exploring some of its politics. Atlantis was also given more color and vibrancy. 14. Safran felt the different look and feel of Atlantis was still anchored in what audiences liked from the first film, while still feeling fresh and new, highlighting Juan's ability to capture the fantasy and colors of the new worlds being explored. To create the various underwater worlds and creatures, Juan and the creatives transitioned away from the blue screen method used on the first film, and instead used the new Eyeline Studio technology, which saw the actors in circular booths surrounded by 136 cameras, which producer Rob Cowan said changed the creative and practical methods of shooting the film. 14. In August 2021, Juan said the sequel was strongly influenced by the film Planet of the Vampires, 1965, 91 as well as old-school Euro horror and the stop-motion monsters created by animator Ray Harryhausen. He said the film had a very retro look similar to the horror films of the 1960s, and featured unsettling mechanical creatures with an old-school sci-fi and horror feel, which was tied to Black Manta's role in the film. 92. Brodesky compared the film to Harryhausen's work on the films The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, 1958, and Jason and the Argonauts, 1963, for being a fantastical adventure with a great quest and monsters, 8 such as the deserter tribe, which are located in the Sahara Desert and evolved into vampiric creatures by relying on blood for moisture. 16 While incorporating issues modern audiences could relate to. 8 Wilson said they pushed the fight scenes and stunts further than the first film in addition to exploring the characters' relationships. He also revealed that the character Topo, an octopus playing drums, appears in the film. 93 Juan said that following the positive reception to T.O.P.O.'s brief appearance in the first film, he and Johnson McGoldrick decided to give the character a significant role in the sequel. 39 And believed the inclusion of Topo and other creatures from the Aquaman comics allowed audiences to know they were embracing the character's fictional world. 39. Location shooting took place in early September 2021 at the Saunton Sands Beach in Devon 84-94 as well as at Piccadilly in the city of Westminster, London 84 and in Jersey City, New Jersey that year. 95 Later that month, Spike's casting was confirmed. 96 Portraying Kordax, the undead king of Necrus. 35-36 At this time, Randall Park was revealed to be returning from the first film as Dr. Stephen Shin, while the following actors joined the cast: Vincent Regan as the ancient King Atlan, replacing Graham McTavish who briefly portrayed the character in the first film, Yanni Zhao as Stingray, an original character for the film, in her first English-language feature role, and Inda Moore as Karshan. 27 After shooting 95% of the film in the United Kingdom, 97 production moved to Hawaii for on-location shooting until December 9. 98-95 Nicole Kidman was confirmed to have reprised her role as Aquaman's mother Atlantis shortly after that. 32 Filming then moved to Los Angeles, and officially wrapped on January 12, 2022, in Malibu. 97 Filming was completed on time and under budget, and reportedly needed around a week of reshoots. 4. Post-production. Warner Bros. Adjusted its release schedule in March 2022 due to the COVID-19 pandemic's impact on visual effects vendors' workloads. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom was moved to March 17, 2023, and The Flash was also moved from 2022 to 2023, to allow time for their visual effects work to be completed, while Shazam! Fury of the Gods was moved up to this film's previous release date because it would be ready for release earlier. 99 Juan said that while he preferred the Christmas release time frame for the film, he was thankful for this delay because it allowed for more time to work on the visual effects and its new technology, which he called groundbreaking, and said the film would not have made its prior release date. 101 He had also been working on his director's cut at this time. 101 Wilson also said that new VFX techniques were used for The Lost Kingdom and The Flash. 93 In April 2022, Discovery Incorporated and Warner Media merged to become Warner Brothers. Discovery, WBD, led by President and CEO David Zaslav. The new company was expected to restructure DC Entertainment, and Zaslav began searching for an equivalent to Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige to lead the new subsidiary. 102 That June, the final writing credits for the film were revealed. Johnson McGoldrick received screenplay credit, while the duos of Wan and Johnson McGoldrick, and Momoa and his producing partner Thomas Paisabet received story credit. 103:13. The film received several test screenings in the middle of 2022, which yielded mixed results, prompting a new cut. 2 rounds of reshoots then took place between that point and the start of 2023, with Warner Brothers film chairs Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdi involved in editing the film. 104 Momoa revealed in July 2022 that Ben Affleck was reprising his DC Extended Universe, DCEU, role of Bruce Wayne/Batman for reshoots on the Warner Brothers Studios backlot in Burbank, California. 105 Aaron Couch of The Hollywood Reporter reported soon after that Michael Keaton had filmed a scene as his version of Bruce Wayne/Batman from director Tim Burton's Batman, 1989, and Batman Returns, 1992. Keaton's version was set to be introduced to the DCEU in The Flash before that film's release was pushed to after Aquaman and the Lost Kingdoms. The scene reportedly confused audiences during test screenings, and Couch felt this was why Affleck joined the reshoots. 106 In August, Warner Brothers delayed the film to December 25, 2023, to help spread out the marketing and distribution costs for its feature films. 107 This pushed the film's release to after the planned release of The Flash, which meant there was potential for Keaton's version of Batman to appear in the film instead of Affleck's. 108 Keaton's cameo had reportedly been cut from the film by October. 109 Around that time, DeLuca and Abdi told Wan to reduce the budget for the reshoots because the film's budget had reached $205 million during production. 110. Safran and writer/director James Gunn were hired as the co-chairman and co-CEOs of the newly formed DC Studios at the end of October. 111 A week after starting their new roles, the pair had begun developing an 8 to 10 year plan for a new franchise called the DC Universe, DCU, that would be a soft reboot of the DCEU. 112-113 By the middle of November, Safran had been fixing The Lost Kingdom 114 while Gunn had provided notes on it by the following month. 115 Momoa said in January 2023 that he had shot scenes with a couple of actors as Batman, but was unsure which would be included in the final cut. 116 After further test screenings in early 2023, Gunn consulted on the film. 104 In April, the film's release date was moved forward 5 days earlier to December 20, 2023. 117 The reshoots had concluded just before the 2023 Writers Guild of America strike began early the following month and the studios approached a third set of reshoots, which increased the film's budget, to occur in New Zealand over 5 days in the middle of June with Momoa and Wilson. Those reshoots were completed in 4 days. By then, both Affleck and Keaton were excluded from the latest cut of the film due to Gunn and Safran's plans for the DCU 104. Neither actor appeared in the final version of the film. 118 Following the reshoots, the film's budget ultimately reached $215 million. 4. External videos. Video icon Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom / main on-end title sequence / filmograph presents the film's main on-end title sequence, Vimeo video from Filmographer's channel. Explaining the reshoots, Wan said he had to make some adjustments during production as it had been challenging to keep track of the different versions of the DCEU while remaining mindful of other plans for the franchise, but was fortunate that the Aquaman films were far removed from the rest of the DCEU films and characters. 59 In September, the director said the film would not be connected to any previous DCEU films as he was uncertain if it was going to be released before or after The Flash, which was intended to reboot the DCEU. 8 He explained that he had directed a relatively small amount of additional photography, which he described as a routine part of the production process, due to some actors being unavailable during some parts of principal photography. 8 Lundgren later said that the studio decided to reshoot much of the footage to rebuild it with a slightly different storyline, reducing his and Hood's roles. 2073 In October 2023, the film's release was delayed by 2 days to December 22, 2023. 119 The following month, Warner Bros. Signed a new multi-year co-financing deal with Domain Capital for their theatrical films, including The Lost Kingdom, through that company's $700 million fund for media and entertainment, Domain Entertainment. 121 Kirk Morey returned as the editor from the first film 3675 and Nick Davis served as the visual effects supervisor, having previously worked on The Dark Knight, 2008. 75 Nearly each frame in the film featured visual effects 104 which were provided by Cinesight, DNEG, Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, Moving Picture Company, MPC, Scanline VFX 122 and Rodeo FX. 123. Music. Main article, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, soundtrack. Rupert Gregson-Williams revealed in August 2021 that he was returning to compose the score for the sequel after doing so for the first film and DC's Wonder Woman, 2017. 124 The song Deep End was performed by X-Ambassadors and released as a single on November 17, 2023. 125 The soundtrack album for Gregson-Williams' score was released by Watotower Music on December 22. 126. Marketing. Promotional video with Momoa and Wilson released in February 2024, via Max's YouTube channel. Wan and Wilson teased plans for the film in a panel at the virtual DC Fandom event in August 2020. 46 Concept art and behind-the-scenes footage from filming were revealed at DC Fandom the following year. 22 In February 2022, the first footage from the film was released as part of a teaser for Warner Bros.' 2022 slate of DC films, which also included The Batman, Black Adam, and The Flash, before Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and The Flash were delayed to 2023 the following month. 127.99 Wan promoted the film at Warner Bros.' Cinemacan panel in April 2022, showing a recorded message of Momoa as well as some brief footage from the film. 128 He revealed more concept art for the film when its release date was delayed in August. 108. The first trailer was showcased during Warner Bros.' Cinemacan panel in April 2023, showing the bromance between Arthur and ORM among other footage. 129 Steve Weintraub at Collider said the footage looked absolutely massive in scale and featured several action sequences. 23 The first theatrical trailer was released on September 14, 2023. 130 The cast was not able to participate in marketing during the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike until the strike ended in November. 131 IWC Schaffhausen, in collaboration with Warner Bros. Pictures, released an Aquatimer Perpetual Calendar digital date-month diving watch, inspired by the watches worn by Abdul Mateen II and Park in the film. 76. Release. Theatrical. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom premiered on December 19, 2023, at a fan event screening at the Grove at Farmers Market in Los Angeles. 132 133 134 This was noted by Boris Kidd of The Hollywood Reporter for not having a red carpet event and after party, with Wan and Momoa attending after a series of blue carpet photo calls and small-scale fan events in London, Beijing, and Los Angeles. 132 The film was released in China on December 20, 131 and in the United States on December 22, 119 in IMAX, 3D, 4DX, and ScreenX, among other premium large formats, PLFs. 134 135 It was originally set for release on December 16, 2022 54 but was moved to March 17, 2023, when Warner Bros. Adjusted its release schedule due to the COVID-19 pandemic's impact on the workload of visual effects vendors. 99 It was then moved to December 25, 2023, when Warner Bros. Discovery was trying to spread out marketing and distribution costs 107 before moving forward to December 2117 and ultimately being pushed back by 2 days to December 22. 119. Home media. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom was released by Warner Bros. Home entertainment on digital download on January 23, 2024 40 on the Warner Bros. Streaming service Max on February 27 136 and on Ultra HD Blu-ray, and DVD on March 12. It includes behind-the-scenes featurettes, as well as the special feature Atlantean Blood is Thicker Than Water, which explores Aquaman and ORM's dynamic on both Blu-ray versions and the original motion comic Aquaman, Through Fire and Water on premium digital versions. 40 According to Nielsen Media Research, which measures the viewership of media on streaming services, The Lost Kingdom was the most watched film on streaming upon its debut for the week of February 26 to March 3, 2024, with a total of 685 million minutes watched. 137. Reception. Box office. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom grossed $124.5 million in the United States and Canada, and $315.7 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $440.2 million. 5. It became the highest-grossing DCEU film since the first Aquaman film, but it grossed less than half of that film's box office revenue. 138 Some commentators deemed that the film floundered at the box office. 139 136 137 with Aidan Kelly of Collider estimating that it needed to earn $305 to $355 million worldwide to reach its break-even point. 139 While Slash Films' Hannah Shaw Williams thought it was unlikely that the film would break even during its theatrical run, even after surpassing a worldwide gross of $400 million. 140 Jill Goldsmith at Deadline Hollywood noted that the revenue of Warner Bros.' theatrical films released in the fourth quarter were higher on most releases, including The Lost Kingdom, although this was lower than box office analysts had predicted despite lowered projections. 141. In the United States and Canada, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom was released alongside Migration, Anyone But You, and The Iron Claw, and was projected to gross around $40 million in its 4-day opening weekend. 134 The film earned $13.7 million on its first day, including $4.5 million from Thursday night previews. It went on to have a traditional opening weekend of $27.7 million, the fourth lowest of the DCEU, and the second lowest among those films unaffected by the COVID-19 pandemic. 142.3 It then made $10.6 million on Christmas Day, for a 4-day total of $38.3 million. 142 In its second weekend, the film made $19.5 million, a drop of 30%, finishing in third behind Wonka and Migration. 143 In its third weekend, the film made $10.6 million, a drop of 42%, remaining in third. 144 In its fourth weekend, the film made $5.3 million, a drop of 50%, finishing in sixth. 145. Critical response. This section may be too long to read and navigate comfortably. Consider condensing it or adding subheadings. Please discuss this issue on the article's talk page. September 2025. The film received negative reviews from critics. 146 147 The review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes calculated that 33% of 212 critic reviews were positive and the average rating was 4.9/10. The website's critical consensus reads, Jason Momoa remains a capable and committed leading man, but even DC diehards may feel that Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom sticks to familiar waters. 148. Metacritic assigned the film a weighted average score of 42 out of 100 based on 43 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 149 audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B on an A+ to F scale, tied with Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice and The Flash for the lowest of the DCEU, while Post-Track reported 69% of filmgoers gave it a positive score, with 50% saying they would definitely recommend the film. 142. The chemistry between Momoa and Wilson was noted by critics as one of the film's high marks. 151 Matt Zoller Sites of RogerEbert.com noted Jason Momoa as the high mark of the film. Momoa is the best reason to see the movie. He's as alpha cool, even jerkish, as a maverick action star can be, while also making you believe his character is fundamentally decent and knows when he's gone too far and sincerely feels bad about it. And he's got range. Sites gave the movie 3 out of 4 stars. 152 Both Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian and The Independent's Clarice Luffrey provided a 1-star rating for the film. Bradshaw compared the humor to Taika Waititi's Marvel films Thor, Ragnarok, 2017, and Thor, Love and Thunder, 2022, and felt Aquaman's role as a father was a derivative trope used as a tired relatability shortcut by Hollywood. He also lamented Randall Park's role in the film, feeling it was entirely wasted, and expressed ambivalent feelings about the cast performances. Meanwhile, Luffrey labeled the film as an entry in the rogues gallery of brainless franchise films, opining that one might have incorporated elements from his planned project The Trench into the project. She was surprised the film's theme was about climate change and thought Mara's role was faux feminist and narratively contrived, noting Amber Heard's legal controversies. Furthermore, she also called the set pieces derivative and thought the humor negatively impacted the film's emotional moments. 154. Giving a 2-star review, writer Nicholas Barber of the BBC began by expressing his view that Aquaman's box office revenue was the primary reason for this film's existence. However, he praised the performances of Wilson and Abdul Mateen too, while noting that Momoa seems to have been miscast as he's too earthy to be the king of the sea. Barber also called the relationship between Arthur and ORM cliched, lamented at the complete waste of Kidman's talent, and opined that while most of Heard's scenes had been edited out, the film's unrelated plot was such that her absence did not matter much. Ultimately, he concluded that the film never attempts anything original or honest and criticized its brutal editing for rushing through every potentially major event in a blur of montages and voiceovers. 155 David Fear of Rolling Stone felt it functioned as a standalone film and was separate from the DCEU, but disliked the tone and visual effects. Fear also called the storytelling curiously thin and was mixed on its commentary regarding climate change, but appreciated Momoa's performance and thought the film adequately concluded the DCEU. 156 CNN's Brian Lowry negatively compared it to Wonder Woman 1984, 2020, and felt the lack of a new antagonist was to its detriment, calling David Kane a one-note villain. He enjoyed Momoa's performance and thought it contributed to the film's fun, but also was not interested in Arthur and ORM's relationship as it wades through too many clunky moments to reach the few good ones. 157 Writing for the Associated Press, Mark Kennedy thought the film's plot to be derivative from other films such as The Matrix, 1999, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Star Wars, and disliked references to other films. Nevertheless, Kennedy considered Momoa's performance to be holding it all together, and summed up the film as attempting to raise the stakes by increasing the production budget. 158. One's direction was commended by Alyssa Wilkinson at the New York Times and Phil Owen of GameSpot, with Wilkinson crediting him with creating a film beyond the paint-by-numbers superhero movies we've been watching for decades now. Wilkinson also enjoyed the political commentary, as she felt certain elements were metaphors for authoritarianism and fascism. She primarily enjoyed Wilson's performance and ORM's character development compared to Aquaman, but felt certain plot elements and the humor became repetitive and boring. Owen commended the production values but felt it lacked substance and was empty-headed, giving the film an 8 out of 10. 159-160 BAB. Club's Matthew Jackson gave it a B grade, enthusiastically enjoying the film's depiction of ORM and Arthur's relationship, calling that formula, absolute gold, both on a set piece and a character level. Jackson opined that the narrative contained too much and disliked the plotting, but he still felt it could effectively tell a cohesive narrative and enjoyed his overall viewing experience. Jackson concluded, and above all else, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is fun. It does not dwell on its status as a finale for a certain comic book movie era, nor does it worry over the possibility that we'll never see Momoa's Arthur Curry again. Instead, this is a film that takes big swing after big swing, and leaves us filled up with spectacle, warmth, and a sense that the wait was probably worth it. 161. Michael Ordina of the Los Angeles Times felt it highlighted climate change in an earnest if clumsy fashion and expressed minor complaints with the absence of physics during CGI-based action sequences underwater. Ordina enjoyed the film's buddy cop movie tone and noted how it focused on portraying Arthur interacting with his family rather than Mera. He commended the characterization of Arthur and ORM, complimenting the former as the most alive character in the DCEU, and enjoyed the short runtime. 162. Meanwhile, Bob Strauss from the San Francisco Chronicle considered it to be a decent conclusion for the DCEU, and added that the story and runtime had been concise and efficient, agreeing with Ordina's sentiments. He mostly enjoyed the film's design and visual effects, but felt it was similar to Zack Snyder's then-released film Rebel Moon, 2023. He found the acting effective at conveying the sensation of being underwater and at highlighting Arthur and ORM's relationship, but disliked the exposition delivery. 163. Accolades. At the 49th People's Choice Awards, Momoa was nominated for the Action Movie Star of the Year. 164. The film was nominated for Outstanding Animated Character in a Photoreal Feature at the 22nd Visual Effects Society Awards for the character Topo the Octopus. 165. At the 2024 Kids' Choice Awards, the film was nominated for Favorite Movie and Momoa was nominated for Favorite Movie Actor. 166. Future. By December 2022, Warner Bros. Was considering ending the Aquaman film series and recasting Momoa as the character Lobo following Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. 167. Momoa had long been a fan of Lobo. 168. In January 2023, Momoa said while he would always be Aquaman, he felt he could also portray other characters. 169. Gunn and Safran said Momoa could play Aquaman in the DCU, but a decision on the role had not been made. Because no actor would play multiple characters, Momoa would not portray Aquaman in the DCU if he was instead cast as Lobo. 170. Safran wanted to continue working with Momoa as Aquaman or in another role, and explained that they set a high bar for casting, while feeling Momoa was perfect as Aquaman. 13. In September 2023, Wan said The Lost Kingdom set up a sequel, which he expressed interest in directing after a long break. 8. Gunn had said The Lost Kingdom and The Flash would lead into the first DCU film Superman, 2025, 170 but later clarified that no DC media released before the DCU began in 2024 would be canon to that franchise, leading some commentators to question the possibility of a potential continuation moving forward. 171. 172. By October 2023, no actors from director Zack Snyder's DCEU films were expected to reprise their roles in the DCU, including Momoa as Aquaman. However, Momoa had been in talks to portray Lobo in either Superman or a standalone film. 4. Ahead of The Lost Kingdom's release in December 2023, Momoa cast doubt on reprising his role as Aquaman because a sequel depended on the film's reception. 133. He had several ideas for continuing the role, such as having a younger character like Aquaman's son Arthur Jr. be featured in a sequel, but said that he would not be replaced with a different actor as Aquaman. 173 Safran said Momoa would always have a home at DC and they would figure out his continued involvement following The Lost Kingdom. 133 And a year later, Momoa was confirmed to be portraying Lobo in the DCU, starting with the film Supergirl, 2026. Joseph Jason Namekaha Momoa, /Mo/, born August 1, 1979, is an American actor and film producer. He made his acting debut as Jason Ion on the syndicated action drama series Baywatch, Hawaii, 1999 to 2001, which was followed by portrayals of Ron on Dex on the sci-fi science fiction series Stargate Atlantis, 2005 to 2009, and Khal Drogo in the first 2 seasons of the HBO fantasy drama series Game of Thrones, 2011 to 2012. He went on to play the lead roles in the Discovery Channel historical drama series Frontier, 2016 to 2018, and the Apple TV shows See, 2019 to 2022, and Chief of War, 2025. Since 2016, Momoa has appeared in various DC Comics media, first portraying Aquaman in the DC Extended Universe, 2016 to 2023. He has also played Duncan Idaho in the science fiction film Dune, 2021, and has starred in the action film Fast X, 2023, and the fantasy adventure comedy film A Minecraft Movie, 2025. Early life. Momoa was born on August 1, 1979, in Honolulu, Hawaii to Takoni, ne Lemke, a photographer, and Joseph Momoa, a painter. He is an only child. His father is native Hawaiian 3/4 while his mother is of German, Irish, and Pawnee 2 ancestry. 5 Shortly after his birth, his parents divorced and he and his mother moved to Norwalk, Iowa, where he was raised. He graduated from Norwalk High School and was a member of the school's soccer team alongside Brandon Routh. 6 Momoa attended the University of Hawaii at Manoa. 1. In his early teen years, Momoa became a rock climber and boulderer when his mother took him to Custer State Park where Sylvan Lake and the Needles of South Dakota lie. 7-8. Career. Momoa during the filming of Stargate Atlantis in 2006. At 19 years old, while living and working in Honolulu, Momoa decided to audition for the television series Baywatch Hawaii 19 in which he was cast as Jason Ion, 1999 to 2001. 10 He was in the main cast on the 2004 to 2005 Fox drama North Shore as Frankie. In 2004, Momoa appeared in the road comedy film Johnson Family Vacation. From 2005 to 2009, Momoa appeared as Ronan in Stargate Atlantis, for which he learned martial arts. 11. In 2009, he was cast as Roman in 4 episodes of the comedy-drama television series The Game, 2009. He portrayed the title protagonist in Conan the Barbarian, 2011, a reimagining of the 1982 film of the same name and a role made famous by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Momoa gained fame for his role of Khal Drogo on HBO's Game of Thrones. In his audition for the role, he performed a haka 12, one of many intimidating Maori dances traditionally used to convey a challenge to an opponent, or a welcome to a visitor. 13. Momoa directed and co-wrote Road to Paloma, 2014, an American drama thriller film, together with writers Jonathan Hirschbane and Robert Homer Mollahan. The film stars Momoa, Sarah Shahi, Lisa Bonet, Michael Raymond James and Wes Studi. 14. It premiered at the 2014 Sarasota Film Festival in April 2014. 15. The film had a limited theatrical release on July 15, 2014, in New York City and Los Angeles and a VOD release. 16. Momoa in 2014. In March 2014, Momoa joined the dark comedy/thriller indie Sugar Mountain alongside Carrie Elwes and Haley Webb. Its principal photography was done in Alaska. 17. 18. He also starred as Philip Kappas, a Ramapough Mountain Indian, on the Sundance TV drama series The Red Road, 2014 to 2015. 19. In June 2014, Momoa was reported to have been cast in the role of Arthur Curry/Aquaman, after he auditioned for Bruce Wayne/Batman. 20. He first played the role in a cameo in the superhero film Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice 21-22-23, marking Aquaman's live-action film debut. Momoa played the character in a leading role in the 2017 ensemble film Justice League and its director's cut, Zack Snyder's Justice League. He then starred in the Aquaman solo film, which was released in late 2018. 24, 25, 26. He also reprised this role in the Lego Movie 2, the second part. 27. In August 2014, Momoa portrayed Connor in the Canadian horror action film Wolves 28 and starred in the sci-fi horror movie Debug. It was written and directed by Momoa's former Stargate Atlantis co-star, British-born Canadian actor David Hewlett. In February 2015, it was announced that he would portray a cannibal 29 in the drama thriller film The Bad Batch. 30. In 2015, Momoa was cast in the Canadian action film Braven, which was released on February 2, 2018. In March 2017, it was announced that Momoa would play Rico Rodriguez in the official Just Cause film series. 31. 32. Between 2016 and 2018, Momoa portrayed Declan Harp in all 3 seasons of the Canadian historical drama television series Frontier and was an executive producer on the show. The series chronicles the North American fur trade in late 1700s Canada, and follows Declan Harp, a part Irish, part Cree outlaw who is campaigning to breach the Hudson's Bay Company's monopoly on the fur trade in Canada, which has become corrupt and engages in illegal activities to enrich itself. 33-34. In July 2018, Momoa was cast for Apple's post-apocalyptic drama series C. 35-36. In February 2019, Momoa was cast as Duncan Idaho in the Denis Villeneuve film Dune. 37-38. In February 2020, Momoa appeared in a halftime commercial for Rocket Mortgage for Super Bowl 54. He also appeared in the teaser for Scary Little Green Man by Ozzy Osbourne from his album Ordinary Man. In January 2022, it was announced that Momoa joined the cast of the 10th Fast and Furious film titled Fast X as the main villain, Dante Reyes, the son of Hernan Reyes, Joaquim de Almeida, the main antagonist killed by Luke Hobbs, Dwayne Johnson, in Fast 5. Fast X is produced by and stars Vin Diesel. 39. In 2023, Momoa made his final outings as Aquaman, beginning with an uncredited cameo in the post-credits scene of The Flash 40 and then reprising his main character role in his solo film sequel Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. 41. In June 2024, he was cast in the upcoming comedy film Carnival, At the End of Days. 42. In December 2024, Momoa was announced to play Lobo in the DC Universe film Supergirl, scheduled to be released on June 26, 2026. 43. In May 2025, Momoa was confirmed for the role of Blanka in the Street Fighter reboot film. 44. In August 2025, Momoa starred as Kayana in Apple's historical drama series Chief of War. 45. Momoa is also the series co-creator and executive producer. 46. February 11, 2026, it was announced that he is starring in the Helldivers film adaptation for Sony Pictures, PlayStation Productions, and with Justin Lin directing, and in theaters starting November 10, 2027. 47. Music. Momoa is a fan of heavy metal music. 48 and has noted that he builds his characters off of metal songs. 49. He invited members of Arch's Peer for cameo appearances in the first episode of the TV series C, and he also practiced proper screaming technique with the vocalist of Arch's Peer, Oli Peters, for a significant scene in the series. 50-51. On October 30, 2020, Momoa was featured in the song Doom by black metal band Scour. 52 Momoa is a hobby musician and plays bass guitar, mandolin, ukulele 53 and guitar 54 in his spare time, the first of which he took up after listening to Tool's song Sober. 55 In 2024, Momoa formed the power trio Oof-Tatata alongside longtime friends Kenny Dale Borrell and Mike Hayes, performing at Nashville's Cannery Hall in May. 56 The band performed a one-off show in Auckland, New Zealand in August. 57. In July 2025 he hosted Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne's farewell concert, Back to the Beginning in Birmingham, England. 58. Personal life. Momoa in July 2017. Momoa met his first fiancée, actress Simone Jade McKinnon, on the set of Baywatch in 1999. They were together for 6 years and became engaged in 2004. McKinnon and Momoa called off their engagement after Momoa began a relationship with actress Lisa Bonet in 2005. 5960. Although it was previously believed that Momoa and Bonet had married on November 15, 2007, the couple did not marry until October 2017. 61 Daughter Lola Iolani was born in July 2007. 6260 and son Nico Wolf Manako Aponamekaha 62 was born in December 2008. 63 In January 2022, Momoa and Bonet announced their split. 64 In January 2024, Bonet filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences and listing their date of separation as October 7, 2020. 6566 On July 9, 2024, the divorce was finalized. 67 As of 2024, Momoa is in a relationship with actress Adria Arjona. 6869. In 2017, Momoa began practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. 7071. In 2019 he participated in protests against the building of the 30-meter telescope on Mauna Kea, a holy spiritual site for native Hawaiians. 7273. Momoa has numerous tattoos, including a half sleeve on his left forearm, a tribute to his family god, or Omakwa. 74. Facial scar. On November 15, 2008, Momoa was slashed across the face with a broken beer glass during an altercation at the Birds Cafe, a tavern in Los Angeles, California. 7576 He received approximately 140 stitches during reconstructive surgery and the scar through his left eyebrow is apparent in his later work. 75 The assailant was sentenced to 5 years in prison for the attack. Patrick Joseph Wilson, born July 3, 1973, is an American actor. He began his career in 1995, starring in Broadway musicals. He received nominations for 2 Tony Awards for his roles in The Full Monty, 2000-2001, and Oklahoma, 2002. He co-starred in the HBO miniseries Angels in America, 2003, for which he was nominated for a Golden Globe Award and a Primetime Emmy Award. Wilson appeared in films such as The Alamo, 2004, The Phantom of the Opera, 2004, Hard Candy, 2005, Little Children, 2006, Watchmen, 2009, and The A-Team, 2010. He gained wider recognition for his starring role in the Insidious film series, 2010-2023, and as Ed Warren in the Conjuring universe, 2013-present, earning him a Scream King title. 1-2 He made his directorial debut with the sequel Insidious, The Red Door, 2023. On television, Wilson starred in the CBS drama series A Gifted Man, 2011-2012, and as Lou Salverson in the second season of FX's anthology series Fargo, 2015, for which he received critical acclaim and a second Golden Globe nomination. In the DC Extended Universe, he played Ocean Master in Aquaman, 2018, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, 2023. Early life. Patrick Joseph Wilson was born in Norfolk, Virginia, on July 3, 1973, the son of voice teacher and singer Mary Kay Wilson and WTVT news anchor John Franklin Wilson. He has two older brothers, Paul, an advertising executive, and Mark, who succeeded their father as a WTVT news anchor. 3-4 Wilson grew up in St. Petersburg, Florida, where he attended Shorecrest Preparatory School. 5 In 1995, he graduated with a BFA in drama from Carnegie Mellon University. 6. Career. Wilson at the Montclair Film Festival in May 2014. Early stage and TV work. In 1995, Wilson made his acting debut as an understudy in the role of Chris Scott in the national touring production of Miss Saigon. 7 The following year, he portrayed Billy Bigelow in the national tour of Carousel. 8 In 1999, he starred as Jamie Conway in the off-Broadway production of Bright Lights, Big City, and Wilson later made his Broadway theater debut in The Full Monty, 2000, portraying Jerry Lukowski. 9 For his performance in the role, he was nominated for the Tony Award for Best Actor in a Musical and the Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Actor in a Musical. 10-11. Circa 2000, Wilson completed work on the film My Sister's Wedding, which has never been released. 12 He sang on the Street Where You Live from My Fair Lady for Julie Andrews' awards ceremony when she received the Kennedy Center Honors in 2001. 13 In 2002, his performance as Curly McLean in the Broadway production of Oklahoma received critical acclaim, with Wilson being nominated for the Tony Award for Best Actor in a Musical and the Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Actor in a Musical for the second time each. 14-15 He won critical acclaim for his performance as the closeted Mormon Republican Joe Pitt in Mike Nichols' 2003 HBO drama miniseries Angels in America, receiving nominations for both the Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actor, Series, Miniseries, or Television Film and the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Miniseries or a Movie. 16-17-18. Early film work. In 2004, Wilson made his first film appearance in The Alamo, playing William B. Travis. That same year, he co-starred in the musical film The Phantom of the Opera as Viscount Raoul de Chagny. 19 The following year, he starred alongside Elliot Page in the psychological thriller film Hard Candy, portraying a pedophile named Jeff Culver. 20. In 2006, Wilson starred as Brad Adamson in Todd Field's Little Children. 21 Also in 2006, he appeared in the Golden Globe Award-nominated Running with Scissors as Michael Shepard, which was directed by Ryan Murphy and produced by Brad Pitt. In 2007, he starred as Brian Callahan in the independent film Purple Violets, which was written and directed by Edward Burns. 22 In 2008, he starred in Neil LaBoute's Lakeview Terrace. Citation needed. Wilson played Dan Drawberg/Night Owl 2 in Zack Snyder's 2009 film adaptation of the graphic novel Watchmen, gaining 25 pounds for the role after filming flashback scenes as the slimmer Night Owl 2. 23 This film reunited Wilson with his Little Children co-star, Jackie Earle Haley. On October 19, 2010, in Yankee Stadium, he sang God Bless America during the seventh-inning stretch of Game 4 of the American League Championship Series between the Texas Rangers and the New York Yankees. 24 On November 20, 2010, in Yankee Stadium, he sang the United States National Anthem before the first football game in the new stadium, played between Army and Notre Dame. 25. International breakthrough. Wilson played the primary antagonist Lynch in 2010's The A-Team, and co-starred with Rose Byrne in James Wan's horror film Insidious. 19 He returned for the latter film's sequel, Insidious, Chapter 2, which was released in 2013. 26 In 2013, Wilson portrayed the paranormal investigator Ed Warren, alongside Vera Farmiga starring as his wife Lorraine, in the horror film The Conjuring. 27 The film was critically acclaimed, becoming one of the highest-grossing horror films of all time. 28 Wilson reprised the role in the film's sequel, The Conjuring 2, released on June 10, 2016. 29. In January 2014, Wilson was announced to portray the lead role, Lou Salverson, in the second season of FX's anthology series Fargo. He was nominated for the 2015 Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Miniseries or Television Film for his performance. 30. In March 2014, Wilson was cast in an unspecified role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe film Ant-Man 31 but later left the film due to scheduling conflicts brought upon by multiple delays with the film's production. 32. That same year, he was cast as Arthur O'Dwyer in the Western film Bone Tomahawk, opposite Kurt Russell and Matthew Fox. 33. Ongoing success and directorial debut. In 2016, he co-starred in John Lee Hancock's biopic The Founder, as Raleigh Smith, based on the life of McDonald's fast food restaurant's founder Ray Kroc. 34. In August 2016, Barbra Streisand released the album Encore, Movie Partners Sing Broadway, on which she and Wilson duet the song Loving You from the Stephen Sondheim musical Passion. 35. Wilson in 2025. In 2018, Wilson co-starred in How May Call It Sarah's action thriller The Commuter, reuniting with The Conjuring co-star Farmiga, and portraying a trusted friend of Liam Neeson's character. 36. Also that year, he portrayed O.R.M. Maria/Ocean Master in the DC Extended Universe film Aquaman, directed by longtime collaborator James Wan. 37. Wilson reprised his role in the 2023 sequel film Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. On November 8, 2019, Roland Emmerich's World War II film Midway was released, starring Wilson along with Ed Skrein, Mandy Moore, Luke Evans, Aaron Eckhart, Nick Jonas, Dennis Quaid and Woody Harrelson. 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. In June 2020, Wilson signed on to Emmerich's Moonfall, which was released in 2022. 44, 45. Announced in October 2020, Wilson made his directorial debut with Insidious, The Red Door, released July 7, 2023, in the US, serving as a direct sequel to Insidious, Chapter 2 with both Wilson and Ty Simpkins reprising their roles. Scott Teems wrote the script based on a story by Lee Whannell. Whannell, James Wan, Jason Blum, and Oren Peli will produce the film. 46, 47, 48. He also contributed vocals to the end credits song Stay on the film's soundtrack, collaborating with Swedish metal band Ghost, who he is a fan of. 49. Charity work. In May 2012, the band Van Wilson, consisting of Wilson on vocals and drums and his brothers on guitar and vocals, performed a benefit concert for Southeastern Guide Dogs Paws for Patriots program in St. Petersburg, Florida. They raised $30,000 for the program and were honored by the organization by having puppies named after them. 50. The brothers have also performed benefit concerts for All Children's Hospital and the St. Petersburg Free Clinic. 51. Personal life. Wilson married Polish-American actress and fellow Carnegie Mellon alumna Dagmara Dominczyk in 2005. 52. They have two sons, born in 2006 and 2009. 53, and reside in Montclair, New Jersey. Patrick's youngest son Cassian has appeared in a few films, including Prodigal Son as young Malcolm, and a cameo in Insidious, The Red Door. 54. His sister-in-law is actress Marika Dominczyk, who is married to actor and director Scott Foley. In April 2012, Wilson gave the keynote address for his alma mater, Carnegie Mellon University, in which he spoke of his memories from childhood and through his career. Amber Laura Heard, born April 22, 1986, is an American actress. She had her first leading role in the horror film All the Boys Love Mandy Lane, 2006, and went on to star in films such as The Ward, 2010, Drive Angry, 2011, and London Fields, 2018. She has also had supporting roles in films including Pineapple Express, 2008, Never Back Down, 2008, The Joneses, 2009, The Rum Diary, 2011, Paranoia, 2013, Machete Kills, 2013, 3 Days to Kill, 2014, Magic Mike XXL, 2015, and The Danish Girl, 2015. From 2017 to 2023, Heard played Mara in the DC Extended Universe, including the films Justice League, 2017, Aquaman, 2018, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, 2023. She has also acted in television series such as the CW's teen drama Hidden Palms, 2007, and the Paramount Plus fantasy series The Stand, 2020 to 2021. In 2016, Heard became a volunteer with the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, in the capacity of an ACLU Artist Ambassador, a role reserved for individuals who advocate for civil rights and civil liberties. Heard also served as a Human Rights Ambassador for the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. 3. Heard was married to actor Johnny Depp from 2015 to 2016. Afterward, the pair accused each other of domestic abuse and engaged in 2 lengthy and high-profile defamation cases, the English Depp v. NGN trial where the court ruled that Depp engaged in domestic abuse against Heard for and the widely publicized American Depp v. Heard trial, where she was found liable for defaming Depp. 567. Early life. Amber Laura Heard was born on April 22, 1986-89 in Austin, Texas, the middle child of 3 daughters, 10 of internet researcher Patricia Page, née Parsons, 1956 to 2020, and construction company owner David Clinton Heard, born 1950. 11. The family lived outside Austin. 12. Heard's father trained horses in his free time, and she grew up riding horses, hunting, and fishing with him. 12. She also participated in beauty pageants, although as an adult she has said that she could no longer support the objectification. 12. 13. Raised Catholic, Heard began identifying as an atheist at the age of 16 after her best friend died in a car crash. 13. The following year, no longer comfortable in conservative, God-fearing Texas, 12. Heard dropped out of her Catholic high school to pursue an acting career in Los Angeles. 11. She eventually earned a diploma through a home study course. 13. Career. 2003 to 2007, early roles. Heard's earliest acting work included appearances in 2 music videos, Kenny Chesney's There Goes My Life and Isley's I Wasn't Prepared, and small supporting roles in the television series Jack and Bobby, 2004, The Mountain, 2004, and The OC, 2005. She made her film debut in a minor role in the sports drama Friday Night Lights, 2004, followed by brief supporting roles in films Drop Dead Sexy, 2005, North Country, 2005, Side FX, 2005, Price to Pay, 2006, Alpha Dog, 2006, and Spin, 2007, and a guest starring spot in an episode of the police procedural crime drama television series Criminal Minds. Heard received her first leading role in the unconventional slasher film All the Boys Love Mandy Lane, which premiered at the 2006 Toronto International Film Festival, but was not released in Europe until 2008 and in the US until 2013 due to distribution problems. 14, 15, 16. In 2007, Heard played the love interest of the main character in the CW's teen drama Hidden Palms, which the network aired to replace summer reruns of other series aimed at teenage audiences. That same year, Heard also appeared in the short movie Day 73 with Sarah 17 in the teen drama Remember the Days, and in an episode of the Showtime series Californication. 18. 2008 to 2016, mainstream recognition. Heard at the 2009 Toronto International Film Festival. Heard gained mainstream recognition in 2008-19-20 with supporting roles in the Judd Apatow-produced stoner comedy Pineapple Express and the martial arts drama Never Back Down. She also appeared as part of an ensemble cast in an adaptation of Bret Easton Ellis's novel The Informers, 2008. 21 The following year, Heard starred in The Joneses, 2009, opposite David Duchovny and Demi Moore. Variety wrote that Heard more or less steals the show from Moore. 22 Outside a brief appearance in the box office hit Zombieland, 2009, Heard's other films during this time were either independent films that received only limited theatrical release: Exterminators, 2009, The River Why, 2010, and Soon the Darkness, 2010, 23 or critically panned horror films: The Stepfather, 2009, The Ward. 24. Heard's first film release in 2011 was Drive Angry, a supernatural action thriller in which she was paired with Nicolas Cage. 25. The film underperformed commercially. 26. But film critic Roger Ebert wrote that she does everything that can possibly be done with her character, a waitress who becomes entangled in an undead man's mission to save his daughter from a cult. 27. In early 2011, Heard also appeared on the British television programme Top Gear as a star in a reasonably priced car, coming 33rd of 41 on their seed leaderboard. 28. Heard next starred in NBC's The Playboy Club, a crime drama series about the original Playboy Club in 1960s Chicago. After poor reviews and ratings as well as protests from both feminists 29 and conservative groups 30, the series was cancelled after only 3 episodes had aired. 31. Heard's third role of 2011 was as the love interest of the main character, played by Johnny Depp, in the Hunter S. Thompson adaptation The Rum Diary, 2011. A commercial failure. 32. Grossing $30 million on a $45 million budget. 33. The film received mixed reviews. 34. In 2011, Heard appeared in an advertisement campaign for the fashion brand Guess. 35. 36. Heard in 2010 at the Toronto International Film Festival. Heard next starred in the thriller Paranoia, 2013, the exploitation film Machete Kills, 2013, and the satire Syrup, 2013. That year also saw the US limited release of All the Boys Love Mandy Lane. Heard's performance in the film was deemed her most definitive to date by the Los Angeles Times. 37. And psychologically interesting by the Washington Post. 38. In 2014, Heard appeared in a supporting role in the action thriller 3 Days to Kill. In 2015, Heard had a prominent role in the comedy drama Magic Mike XXL, playing the love interest of the film's protagonist, Channing Tatum. 39. 40. Heard also had a small supporting role in Tom Hooper's period drama The Danish Girl, 2015, 41. 42. And a starring role opposite James Franco and Ed Harris in the independent crime thriller The Adderall Diaries, 2015. IndieWire stated that although Heard was miscast in The Adderall Diaries, she displays much potential and has succeeded in a bid to be taken more seriously. 43. Her fourth role in 2015 was opposite Christopher Walken in the television film One More Time, which aired on Starz. For her role as a struggling singer-songwriter, she took singing lessons and learned to play piano and guitar. 44. The Los Angeles Times called her performance superb and the film stage stated that Heard did an admirable job. 45. 46. Heard also appeared in a November 2015 episode of the American automotive reality series Overhaulin', in which her Mustang received a makeover. It also featured the cast pranking Heard at the behest of Depp. 47. Heard played the female lead in London Fields, an adaptation of Martin Amis's novel about a clairvoyant femme fatale who knows she will be murdered. It premiered at the 2015 Toronto International Film Festival. 48. Shortly after the screening, the film was pulled from release due to disagreements between its director and producers. 49. And due to litigation, Heard was sued for $10 million for allegedly breaching performance and promotional obligations. The actress countersued, claiming the producers had violated a nudity rider in her contract. In September 2018, a settlement was reached, and the film was finally released. 55 It received highly negative reviews. 56 and Heard later stated that it was one of the most difficult movies to film, and it has proven to continue to be difficult. I can't say I did the character justice. 40 Jane Mulkerins of the Daily Telegraph wrote that Heard provided a decent enough turn as the enigmatic Nicola Six that still could not save the adaptation. 57 While Peter Sobczynski of RogerEbert.com said that she just does not project the kind of mystery and allure that the character requires. 58 In 2019, Heard's performance in the film received a nomination for the Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actress. 59. 2017, present, DC Extended Universe and other projects. Heard discussing Aquaman at the 2018 San Diego Comic-Con. In 2017, Heard appeared as part of an ensemble cast in Lake Bell's indie comedy I Do Until I Don't and joined the DC Extended Universe, DCEU, cast as Mera, a princess of an Atlantean kingdom, in the superhero film Justice League. She reprised the role the following year in Aquaman, which co-starred Jason Momoa and marked Heard's first major role in a studio film. 1060-61 She cited Mera's trait of being a strong, independent, self-possessed superhero in her own right as one of the reasons for her attraction to the role, as well as Mera's rejection of being called Aquawoman instead of by her own name. 1012 Aquaman received mixed reviews. 62-63 It was a commercial success. 64 grossing over $1 billion. 65 The Chicago Tribune's Michael Phillips and The Independent's Jeffrey McNabb respectively noted that Heard lends a blasé air of early 50s B-movie cheese and that she camps it up entertainingly as Mera. 66-67 That same year, Heard was appointed global ambassador for cosmetics brand L'Oréal Paris. 12. In 2019, Heard had supporting roles in the independent dramas Her Smell and Gully. 68-69 Her only project released in 2020 was The Stand, a miniseries based on Stephen King's novel of the same name. 70 She played Nadine Cross, a school teacher who is among the few survivors of an apocalyptic plague. It premiered on CBS All Access in December 2020, with the series finale airing in February 2021. 71 In 2021, Heard reprised her role as Mera in the superhero film Zack Snyder's Justice League, a director's cut of the 2017 film, for which she had also filmed new scenes. 72. Heard reprised her Mera role in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, 2023, a sequel to Aquaman. 65 An online petition to remove Heard from the film began following her ex-husband Depp's loss in his UK libel case and his replacement in the Fantastic Beasts films in 2020. 73 Heard described the campaign as paid rumors and paid campaigns on social media. 74 And the film's co-producer, Peter Safran, confirmed that Heard would appear in the sequel. 75 By the start of the 2022 Depp v. Heard trial in the US, the petition had reached 2 million signatures. 76 Heard stated that she fought really hard to stay in the movie but that they didn't want to include me in the film and only shot a very pared down version of her part. 77 Walter Hamada, a former DC Studios president, and James Wan, the film's director, attributed the reduction of Heard's role to the sequel's intention to focus on the relationship between Momoa and Patrick Wilson's characters. 78-79. Following the release of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom in 2023, several critics observed that, true to what Heard claimed in court, a number of her scenes seemed to have been cut out from the film. 77 One critic writing for Business Insider stated that despite WB and Wan's claim, it's tough to believe there wasn't another version of the film where Mera teamed up with her husband to track down his brother and the trio confronted Black Manta. 80. Another critic noted that Heard, a steely highlight of Aquaman, here feels as though her scenes were all added in post and that given the clunky way Mera is literally silenced in the movie, it's hard not to assume that someone important in the production considered her a liability and made a decision of profound, Deeply disappointing cowardice, to treat her as radioactive. 81. Echoing these sentiments, another critic wrote that the fact that Hood's role is so sloppy and awkward suggests this wasn't the plan all along. It truly looks as if someone erased her actual role and then tossed her into the movie at the last minute as an afterthought, and further added that this is consistent with Hood's allegations of the film cutting her role from the original script. 7782. In a more recent interview, Dolph Lundgren confirmed these observations by noting that the original script was great. I was a bigger part of it and Amber Heard was a bigger part of it, while also lamenting that the studio decided to just reshoot a bunch of footage to try to rebuild a slightly different storyline. I felt a little disappointed, but life goes on. 83. Hood's first role after the trial was in the film In the Fire, directed by Connor Allen. The film premiered at the Taormina Film Fest in June 2023. 84. It was released in October 2023. 85. In June 2025, Heard was cast in Jeremy O. Harris's play Spirit of the People. 86. The play premiered on July 17 at the Williamstown Theatre Festival's Mainstage Theatre. 87. Activism. Heard traveled to the Mexico, United States border with Amnesty International and worked with the organization on a bilingual campaign to raise awareness about U.S. immigration policies. 88-89. She supported the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights Stand Up for Human Rights campaign. 93. Heard was one of the speakers at the United Nations 9th Annual Social Good Summit in September 2018. 91. In her talk, she highlighted the centrality of humans and significance of fairness and justice, as embodied in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. 92. Ahead of the 70th anniversary of the Declaration's drafting, Heard gave a speech at Hague Talks Imagine the World We Want event in October 2018. 93-94. In April 2018, Heard joined the Syrian American Medical Society, SAMS, on a multi-specialty medical mission to the Zaatari refugee camp in Jordan as a Goodwill ambassador. She then partnered with SAMS to help finance treatment for children in the camp with thalassemia. 95-96-97. In November 2018, she visited Smile Train's programs in Mexico, during which she met with children with cleft lip and cleft palate, their families, and doctors. 98. In February 2019, Heard joined SAM's mission to Lebanon to help Syrian refugees living in poverty, during which she visited informal settlements in Bekaa Valley. She also partnered with SAMS in raising funds for psychosocial and educational programs and vocational training for the women and children in these settlements. 99-100. In November 2016, Heard appeared in a public service announcement, PSA, on domestic violence for the #GirlGaze project. In the PSA, she spoke about the importance of making it easier for violence against women, VAW, survivors to come forward and self-advocate. She also highlighted the importance of taking responsibility for how VAW is handled and discussed in society. 101-102. In a letter published in the December 2016 issue of Porter magazine, she spoke to every woman who is suffering in silence, assuring them that they may not see us, but we are there. Your sisters are everywhere, and we are with you. 103-104. During The Economist's Pride and Prejudice event in March 2017, Heard highlighted the underrepresentation of LGBTQ characters in the Hollywood film industry. 105. Referencing her own coming-out story, she praised actresses that are candid about their sexuality and encouraged men in the industry to help challenge the status quo. 106. In August 2017, Heard produced a short video for the publication, in which she spoke about the gender pay gap and underrepresentation of women in the industry. 107. In 2018, Heard became an ambassador for the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, aiding the organization's advocacy for justice in gender issues. 108-109. In August 2016, Heard pledged to donate her $7 million divorce settlement with Johnny Depp to the ACLU and Children's Hospital Los Angeles, CHLA. 111 in November 2016, she defended this pledge against an allegation from TMZ despite Depp not having completed the payment to her that she had not yet made the donations as pledged. 112 CHLA included Heard in their honor roll of donors list for the fiscal year 2017. 113 Depp finished paying the full settlement to Heard in October 2018. 115 on the Dutch talk show RTL Late Night in October 2018, Heard said she had donated $7 million to the ACLU and CHLA. 116 as part of Depp v News Group Newspapers Ltd, Heard stated in a 2020 testimony that the settlement's full amount was donated to charity. 117. In January 2021, the Daily Mail reported an allegation made by Depp's lawyers that Heard had yet to complete her donations. 119 in response to this claim, Heard's lawyer stated that Heard intended to eventually fulfill her pledge but had been delayed in that goal because she has been forced to spend millions of dollars following Depp's lawsuit. 121 during the 2022 Depp v. Heard trial, the corporate designee of CHLA testified that as of 2021, Heard had given the organization $250,000. 122 The ACLU's chief operating officer testified in December 2021 that the organization expected to receive the money over a 10-year period. 123 To that time, a total of $1.3 million had been donated to the ACLU in Heard's name between 2016 and 2018. 124 Heard testified that defending the case had cost her more than $6 million in legal fees and that she planned to resume her donations when she could. 125 In May 2019, Heard gave a speech on Capitol Hill in support of the SHIELD Act, discussing her experience with the non-consensual leak of her private photos obtained via hacking as part of the 2014 celebrity nude photo leak. 126 Heard wrote an op-ed in the New York Times in November 2019, deeming revenge porn an inappropriate label due to the lack of consent for the image's disclosure and emphasizing the importance of congressional legislation to protect privacy in light of state law's failure. 127 In the same month, Heard, together with Nico Tortorella and DC Comics, was awarded for their activism and commitment to disenfranchised youth by the Hetrick Martin Institute. 128 Prior to the 2020 United States presidential election, Heard appeared in an election ad created by artist Marilyn Minder in support of Planned Parenthood and participated in the Vote Riders #ID Check challenge on social media. 129 130 Personal life. Heard in 2009. Heard publicly came out in 2010 131 but has stated, "I don't label myself one way or another, I have had successful relationships with men and now a woman. I love who I love, it's the person that matters." 132 Heard was in a relationship with photographer Tasia Van Ree from 2008 to 2012. 131 133 Heard had her last name legally changed to Van Ree during the relationship and reverted to her birth name in 2014. 2 In 2009, Heard was arrested for misdemeanor domestic violence at Seattle, Tacoma International Airport, Washington, after allegedly hitting Van Ree. 134 135 Heard appeared the next day in King County District Court, Seattle but was not charged. 135 The arrest was made public in 2016 during Heard's divorce proceedings from actor Johnny Depp. 134 135 A statement was then issued by Heard's publicist in which Van Ree said that Heard had been wrongfully accused and that the incident had been misinterpreted and over-sensationalized. while also recalling hints of misogynistic attitudes toward us which later appeared to be homophobic when they found out we were domestic partners and not just friends, and adding that she and Heard shared 5 wonderful years together and remain close to this day. 136. Heard was one of the victims of the 2014 celebrity nude photo leak, in which more than 50 of her personal photos were stolen and released to the public, with Heard later both speaking and writing against such breaches of privacy. 126. 127. Following her divorce from Johnny Depp. 137. Heard dated tech entrepreneur and Tesla CEO and shareholder Elon Musk for a year, until early 2018. 10. 138. 139. She later had a relationship with actress and cinematographer Bianca Buddy from January 2020 to December 2021. 140. 141. 142. In April 2021, Heard had her first child, a daughter, via surrogacy. 143. In December 2024, Heard announced that she was expecting her second child. 144. On May 11, 2025, Heard announced the arrival of twins, a daughter and son. 145. As of June 2023, Heard resides in Madrid, Spain. 146. Relationship with Johnny Depp. See also, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, Depp v News Group Newspapers Ltd, and Depp v. Heard. Heard first met actor Johnny Depp in 2009 when she was cast in The Rum Diary opposite him. According to reports 147-148, the couple began dating in 2012 and were married in a civil ceremony in February 2015. 149, 150, 151, 152. Australian customs incident. In April 2015, Heard and Depp breached Australia's biosecurity laws when they failed to declare in customs the 2 dogs accompanying them when they flew into Queensland, where Depp was working on Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. 153. In May 2015, the dogs were flown out of the country hours before a euthanasia deadline. 154. 155. Later in July of the same year, only Heard was charged for this breach in the laws. 156. By December 2015, the case had been adjourned 4 times, with Heard having instructed her lawyers to enter not guilty pleas and stating that she was looking forward to fighting the charges. 157. In the court case in April 2016, 158. Heard pleaded guilty to falsifying quarantine documents, stating that she had made a mistake due to sleep deprivation. 159. While criminal charges were dropped, she was placed on a $1,000, $752 1-month good behavior bond for producing a false document. 160. Heard and Depp released a video apologizing for their behavior and urging others to adhere to biosecurity laws. 160. Divorce. Heard filed for divorce from Depp in May 2016 and obtained a temporary restraining order against him, releasing a statement saying that, during the entirety of our relationship, Johnny has been verbally and physically abusive to me. I endured excessive emotional, verbal, and physical abuse from Johnny, which has included angry, hostile, humiliating and threatening assaults to me whenever I questioned his authority or disagreed with him. 161. She requested $50,000 a month as and for pendant-light spousal support based on their marital lifestyle. 162. 163. In response, Depp's counsel said Amber is attempting to secure a premature financial resolution by alleging abuse, but agreed with her request for a restraining order, saying Depp nonetheless has every intention of staying away from Amber and will stipulate to mutual stay away and personal conduct orders. 164. 165. A settlement amount for the divorce was arrived at in August 2016. 166. 167. And Heard pledged to donate the proceeds equally between the ACLU 168 and CHLA. 169-170 She dropped her request for a continued restraining order, and she and Depp issued a joint statement saying that their relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm. 166. The final terms of the settlement were agreed upon by January 2017, with Depp being required to complete the payment of $7 million to Heard by February 2018. 171 contribute $500,000 towards Heard's attorney's fees, and to give Heard custody of their 2 dogs, a horse, and 2 cars. 172 Depp was to retain all his real estate assets and 42 vehicles, and no spousal support would be paid by either party. In her 2022 testimony, Heard stated that because they had no prenuptial agreement, she would have been entitled to half of Depp's earnings of $65 million during the marriage had she requested it. 173 174. Depp v News Group Newspapers Ltd. Main article, Depp v News Group Newspapers Ltd. In June 2018, 175 Depp brought a libel lawsuit in the United Kingdom against News Group Newspapers, NGN, the company publishing The Sun, which had labeled him a wife-beater in an April 2018 article. 176 177 Heard was a key witness for NGN during the highly publicized trial in July 2020. 178 In November 2020, the presiding judge found that Depp had lost his claim and that the great majority of alleged assaults of Ms. Heard by Mr. Depp, 12 out of the 14, have been proved to the civil standard. 176 177 The court rejected Depp's claim of a hoax. 179 and accepted that the allegations Heard had made against Depp had damaged her career and activism. 176 177 Depp's appeal to overturn the verdict was rejected in March 2021. 121. Depp v. Heard. Main article, Depp v. Heard. In February 2019, Depp sued Heard for defamation over a December 2018 op-ed for The Washington Post. 181 In the lawsuit, Depp alleged that the op-ed contained 3 defamatory statements, the first of which was a headline. Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. Then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out. I had the rare vantage point of seeing, in real time, how institutions protect men accused of abuse. 182 183. Depp also alleged that Heard had been the one who abused him, and that her allegations constituted a hoax against him. 181. In August 2020, Heard filed a counterclaim against Depp, alleging that he had coordinated a harassment campaign via Twitter and by orchestrating online petitions to get her fired from Aquaman and L'Oreal. 184 185 Ultimately, Heard's counterclaim went to trial over 3 allegations that Depp had defamed her through statements made by his then lawyer, Adam Waldman, published in the Daily Mail in April 2020, where Waldman stated, Heard and her friends in the media used fake sexual violence allegations as both sword and shield, publicizing a sexual violence hoax against Depp. In one incident at a penthouse, Amber and her friends spilled a little wine and roughed the place up, got their stories straight under the direction of a lawyer and publicist, and then placed a second call to 911 as an ambush, a hoax against Depp. There had been an abuse hoax by Heard against Depp. 182 186. The Depp-Heard trial took place in Fairfax County, Virginia between April 11 and June 1, 2022. 187 The verdict was that for Depp's lawsuit, the jury found that all 3 statements from Heard's op-ed were false, defamed Depp, and were made with actual malice, so the jury awarded Depp $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages from Heard. 180-186. The punitive damages were reduced to $350,000 due to a limit imposed by Virginia state law. 188. For HUD's counterclaim, the jury found that Waldman's first and third statements to the Daily Mail had not been proven to be defamatory, while finding that Waldman's second statement to the Daily Mail was false, defamatory, and made with actual malice. 186. As a result, Heard was awarded $2 million in compensatory damages and $0 in punitive damages from Depp. 182. During the trial, online public sentiment was generally against Heard. Her testimony, which was widely ridiculed, was thought to be false. 189. Heard said she was harassed, humiliated, threatened every single day and described online criticism of her testimony as agonizing. 190. An interviewer hypothesized that the jury had reviewed the evidence and had not believed Heard's testimony, and Heard responded to this by questioning how the jury could have believed her by the time she got on the stand when they had already listened to 3.5 weeks of testimony about how I was a non-credible person. 191. 192. The day after the verdict was read, Heard's lawyer, Elaine Bredhoft, told interviewers that Heard could not afford to pay the damages owed to Depp and would appeal the verdict. 193. 194. A month later, one of Heard's insurance providers, New York Marine, sued Heard in federal court, wanting to avoid paying up to $1 million for her legal defense fees in the Virginia case, arguing that the jury's factual findings establish that Heard's liability is caused by the willful act of Heard. Hence New York Marine is not liable for the loss. 195. After they both filed to appeal the verdict, Depp and Heard settled the case in December 2022, with Heard publicly stating that even if her appeal succeeds, she simply cannot go through a retrial, while maintaining that the settlement was not an act of concession. Meanwhile, Depp's lawyers stated that the jury's unanimous decision and the resulting judgment in Mr. Depp's favor against Ms. Heard remain fully in place, and that the settlement would result in $1 million being paid to Depp by Heard's insurer, which Depp is pledging and will donate to charities. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is a 2023 American superhero film based on the DC Comics character Aquaman. Directed by James Wan from a screenplay by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, it is the sequel to Aquaman, 2018, and the 15th and final film in the DC Extended Universe, DCEU. Jason Momoa stars as Arthur Curry/Aquaman, who must work with his half-brother ORM, Patrick Wilson, to prevent Black Manta, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, from killing his family and using the cursed Black Trident to overheat the world while searching for the lost Seventh Kingdom of the Seas. Amber Heard, Randall Park, Dolph Lundgren, Temuera Morrison, Martin Short, and Nicole Kidman also star in supporting roles. Momoa pitched a story for an Aquaman sequel during the first film's production. Wan did not want to rush a sequel after the first film's commercial success but agreed in January 2019 to oversee development. Johnson McGoldrick signed on to return as screenwriter a month later, and Wan was confirmed to be returning as director in August 2020. He said the film would expand on Aquaman's world building, have a more serious tone, and feature themes such as climate change. Contrarily, the final product is presented as a buddy comedy between Aquaman and ORM, and was inspired by the Silver Age of comic books with a retro science fiction vibe similar to the works of animator Ray Harryhausen and horror films of the 1960s, specifically Planet of the Vampires, 1965. Wan announced the sequel's title in June 2021, and principal photography began later that month and concluded in January 2022. Filming took place in the United Kingdom, Hawaii, Los Angeles, and New Jersey, with additional filming in New Zealand. Several reshoots took place between July 2022 and June 2023 to alter the storyline, while some actors' roles were reduced, including Heard's, whose involvement was the subject of controversy during production. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom premiered at a fan event at the Grove, Los Angeles on December 19, 2023, and was released in the United States on December 22. The film received negative reviews from critics and grossed $440 million worldwide against a production budget of $205 to $215 million. Plot: 4 years after becoming king of Atlantis, Arthur Curry has married Mara and has a son, Arthur Jr., while splitting his life between land and sea. Meanwhile, David Kane/Black Manta continues to seek revenge against Arthur for his father's death, working with marine biologist Stephen Shin to find Atlantean artifacts. When Shin accidentally discovers a cavern in Antarctica, Manta finds a black trident that possesses him, its creator promising to give him the power to destroy Arthur and Atlantis. 5 months later, Manta breaks into an orichalcum reserve on Atlantis to steal it and power his Atlantean machines, which are of ancient origin but of unknown design to modern Atlanteans. Caught midway, they are chased by Atlantean forces, with Mara injured in the ensuing battle. Arthur learns that this usage of orichalcum, which emits high quantities of greenhouse gases, has not only raised planetary temperatures and caused extreme weather and ocean acidification. It also nearly caused a planetary extinction in the past, when used